What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Mark here. Today, I want to discuss Devin Thompkins and some of the good things that Chris Godwin had to say about him. At the end of the year, he pretty much made the roster being a punt returner, kick returner. He had one little splash play against San Francisco 49ers because there was not a damn play to be had at all in that game. It was the most embarrassing game I've seen and wish I could forget it. But he had that 54-yard kickoff return, and then I don't even think we did anything with it after that. Again, our offense was amazing. But let's keep going on about who Devin Tompkins is. He literally had a competition in preseason last year. He was scrapping, didn't end up making the roster, but was in the practice squad, and then ended up making his the roster later in the year. Again, punt return, kick return. They were using his shiftiness, his speed and space, exactly what it was, punt returner. Like no one was really taking that job and running with it. And where is he right now? Yeah, he's your lead punt return, kick returner. But they drafted Trey Palmer, who is a speed demon, and there's going to be competition for that. Devin Tompkins isn't guaranteed a job. He was an undrafted free agent. And if you look at his stature, I mean, he's 5'8, 155 pounds. Does that sound like an NFL player to you? Not many that size make it. But if you remember last year, Byron Leftwich had some nice things to say about him, comparing him to almost like an AB, like that type of mentality, like that scrapping, wants to be great, and that shiftiness ability to him, like AB kind of has. I wouldn't compare anyone to AB just yet, especially when you're comparing a guy that was a Hall of Famer. I know he has his head issues, head trouble, decision making issues, but still, Devin Tompkins, a guy that is like lightning in a bottle, quick shiftiness. Will this offense learn how to use him properly? And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest takeaway I want in this video. But let's hear what Chris Godwin had to say about him. And believe me, it's pretty nice things. But I'll let Chris Godwin take it away.
For the guys that have been here, it's, DT and KG, they've both been, doing some really, really good stuff. Obviously, they were here their first year last year. And, every day, every week, you see them improving. You see them improving in their play speed, and the plays that they're making. DT is incredibly explosive, probably one of the more explosive people that I've ever seen. Like he's like a ninja out there.
Pretty explosive, huh? He's like a ninja out there. That's high praise from Chris Godwin, a guy had seen a whole lot of players in the NFL in his tenure here with the Buccaneers. And I mean, Devin Tompkins, yes, he has that shiftiness, that lightning in the bottle, like I mentioned. Can he use that in this new offense and find a niche where they can get him on end arounds or get him in a quick screen game or get him to blow the top off the defense? Like find a way to get him involved where it's not just heavy on running game, heavy on, okay, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Let's find ways to get all of our guys used creatively. And again, I don't mean to bash, but I do. The old offense, it was very much one way and everyone knew what was coming. If you can get a guy like Devin Tompkins to have like maybe two or three specialty plays a game and just using his speed and space, using just getting guys to think, oh, what if they hand this ball off to him? He's got speed. We can't get to the outside. It wasn't really used last year. Yeah, again, there's the other guys in front of him, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage. They're pretty good. But if you can get a way to use these types of players, which we don't really have much of these shifty type of guys, if we can find a way to use him properly in this new offense, let's see what happens. And again, it's not a given that he's going to have the roster, make the roster at all. I mean, you have Trey Palmer, like I mentioned earlier. They traded up for him, well, not a high draft pick, but still, you trade up for a guy, you're hoping he makes the roster as well. So there's going to be competition at the bottom of the roster for that punt return, kick return job. And who runs with it? Let's see. But high praise from Chris Godwin. I thought that was huge for him to say that and mention him in that light. But guys, let me know down below. What do you think of Devin Tompkins? Do you think he's going to make a step forward this year? Do you think he's going to make a name for himself? Or do you think he's just going to be one that's going to fizzle out and Trey Palmer's going to take over that punt return, kick return job? Let me know down below, guys. And with that said, until the next one.